making sure that we're on. Should be. This is gonna be something. Alright. So hello everybody. It's time for the next episode of the N64 Quest. A little special something going on here because I've got a peripheral ready to go with this. This is at the suggestion of my friend Honest Gamer Mike, who told me is a lot more into these games than I am. He told me to make sure I do this with the wheel, because I do have one of these wheels. It's a Mad Catz wheel that, surprising enough, is for the N64, which you don't really see that as much, but I do have one, and I never use it because it's big and ugly and cumbersome, and I just want to make sure it's on the camera right now. But yeah, here it is. It's my Mad Catz wheel, which is in my closet for most of the time, along with my Wii U copy of Guitar Hero Live and my PS3 Wonder Book. It's got pedals on the floor too. I have those. But supposedly this game is going to be better played with the wheel, and I figure if there is one game that I should try with the wheel, I guess this will be good. So at the suggestion of Honest Gamer Mike, here we are with a game that I'm not going to be very good at. I know this not just from the few times that I've tried to play it before, but because I so desperately want to be okay at this game, like just a little bit like okay, that I'm gonna go ahead and erase the file that's in there already. That's probably me too. Or maybe it is, I don't know. But yeah, I so desperately want to be okay at this game, not because I really care about, you know, playing F1 racing or anything like that, but just because it is good. It's surprisingly good, as a matter of fact. You probably see this game in every, you know, along with Wily Country Club and along with Mission Impossible, like I played before. There's a really weird stretch of games here. But you probably see this game in just every, so, I don't know. Yeah, wheel. Here we go. Is there something below rookie? No. Alright, let's just go for it. There's accelerate and brake assist in there, and honestly, I'm going to take whatever I can get to help me with this game and help me not suck at it. But you've probably seen this game in just like by the thousands in every bargain bin, and you know it makes sense. At least this one makes sense that you'd see it in bargain bins because it is a racing game and it's a licensed racing game and it's not something like super crazy. It's not an arcadey game. It's not anything like that. So here we go. I'm gonna be trying to talk the whole way too. So yeah, especially because I've got the wheel, I do really feel like I want the brake assist thing. The key to the F1 races apparently is, you know, being able to brake. It's two things. It's the hitting the apex on your turns, which is, you know, something I'm definitely not going to be very good at, especially if I don't really know how to turn. Holy fucking shit. The other problem with this is that my setup doesn't really allow me to have the space for this. I really wanted to have this actually on the bureau here, but it would have been like literally in the way of the entire computer. You'd have just seen that, and I would have been looking through the wheel. God, this is awful. I would have been like looking through the wheel, trying to see the screen on the computer, so it just wouldn't have worked. So I'm trying to do it on my lap here, and it is very, very touchy. It's almost a little bit too much, honestly. But the thing is, I can see what it would be, how you would enjoy this more with a wheel. Oh my god. I can totally understand that. I especially like that this wheel even has like it's a built-in rumble thing. You can probably hear it. There's batteries in here. And it definitely helps because it's not like, you know, most of the time I just don't bother to do a rumble pack. It's never really seems like it needs it. But this game, with it being in the wheel, it kind of adds to it, definitely. Like, it's so touchy when you try to go and like straighten yourself out. That's the worst. That's the worst thing. And but that's not the game's fault, because I did play this a little bit with the controller. And I know it's not the game that's too touchy. It's not like the game is shitty controls. That's the thing is, this game is a lot better than you probably think it is. It's really good if you're into this, which the problem is I'm not. So I already have no idea what I'm doing for the most part, and then I'm trying to battle with this wheel, and I'm gonna absolutely blame the wheel more than the game itself, because I did try this just to see if I would be able to like understand how you're supposed to turn and brake and everything. Then I found out that the braking assist is in the game, and I'm like, you know what? It's gonna seem cheap, but I'm gonna use it. Like, let's focus on one thing at a time here, right? But I'm actually glad that this game came up after YLA Country Club. I just played YLA Country Club. I did it for an hour. I played one round, and I showed you pretty much everything that is in YLA Country Club, right? And it's kind of it's really good that I can compare this to YLA Country Club right after, because YLA Country Club is a game that I like because I like golf. I so desperately want that to be good, and I want to be able to be interested in that game and enjoy it. But there's so little effort put into it, and it's so like past the point that it would have been decent at all. You know, because it looks like a Sega CD game, as I said multiple times. It's so past that I can't really enjoy it, and I want to enjoy a golf game. This is the exact opposite of it. It's a game based on a sport, basically, that I'm not interested in at all. I'm really not into... If I'm into racing, I'm not into this type of racing, the realistic F1 stuff. You know, the only games coming up, really, that I'm not looking forward to are all the same kind of idea. This one, which isn't to say I'm not looking forward to it. I'm just not looking forward to sucking at it so hard, because I get to show off that it is actually a really good game. But then I'm really not NASCAR. The first NASCAR game, '99, is coming up as well, and GT64, which is both things that I really don't want to do, because they're the same type of like pretty serious racing that I'm not really into, and I have to spend way too much time thinking about things instead of, you know, I'm thinking about turning and braking and all that shit. And yes, this constitutes a racing game, but it's just a little bit too serious for me, just like this one is. But back to YLA Country Club. Yeah, I'm getting my ass kicked. I know, radio dude. And if anyone is looking to point this out, I am well aware of what this worn part of the track means. It's actually a super helpful thing if you feel like you have any control on anything. That worn part of the track is basically the best racing line. And as I'm trying to follow it, I'm really trying. But trust me, I'm not having an easy time here. I'm well aware of how to use the way that this game presents itself to my advantage. I'm not capable of taking that type of control. Yeah, you want to talk about this game? This is a game I'm not interested in F1. You can probably tell from the first one that I did, which I also was able to recognize as a bad game. I can't do the same thing with this game, because this is actually a very impressive game. It's a game that you can tell the developers really liked what they were doing. Were set out basically to use any capabilities of the N64 to their advantage. You know, they built this with, you know, serious like racing fans in mind, like using this wheel You know, having a control option set up for the wheel. Jesus. That was awful.
That's your best lap so far.
Okay. You can tell just presentation-wise that the developers really tried really hard with this game, and I really got to hand it to them. They went for, you know, it's probably a start, or oh, okay. You know, the trying to figure out how to get on to the next race here. Oh, I should just done that, I guess. I don't know what things are. The developers clearly really enjoy this sport. They clearly know what they're doing in translating all the extra stuff like the stats, the way that the cars look, the way that the sounds that they make, and most importantly, the tracks, the way that the tracks have been done. I've really only played this Australia track before, but I know there's a good amount of tracks in this game, and it's actually really cool to me knowing that they have done a lot of work in getting these tracks to be as close to the real thing as possible. That's really awesome to me. Knowing, basically hearing from other people who are more interested in this stuff, like not just my friend Honest Gamer Mike, as well as Mike Bianchi, my friend Mega Daffy. Just watching like Glenn Plant review this game. Just anybody who's interested in this stuff knows that this game is really their bread and butter. It's really good at what it does, and you have to give it a lot of credit for that. Oh my fucking god! And you have to take this wheel out of my fucking hands because I'm so bad at this, and I'm not doing this game justice. I know that.
13 seconds ahead.
And I think after this race, I probably will still continue to stream it, but I'm gonna put this wheel aside and just kind of grab a controller and try and take advantage of all the same shit, like the brake assist and the aim assist, acceleration assist and everything. But you know, maybe try and not suck so bad, and try and not do even worse than I know I'd probably do. Like, I don't want it to seem like I'm gonna turn everything around if I have a regular controller. But this space here is definitely not set up for this. So I definitely feel like I'm not using this to its full potential in a game that I'm already like struggling with. I feel like the idea of introducing the wheel into your setup is to take a game that you're okay at but want to get more invested in and basically do better with. It's kind of like using a fight stick. You know, people when they buy the new fighting games, like, you know, the Injustice players, the Marvel vs. Capcom players, the Street Fighter players, that they go really hard and they invest a lot of money into their fight sticks because they'd be good with a controller. They'd be better with a fight stick because that's how they train themselves. It's a lot different when you're It's a lot different when you're already bad at the game and you feel like the wheel is going to help you. It's not. It's definitely not. Don't think you can buy your way into. Don't think that you can spend your way into being half decent at a game. It doesn't work that way. I like that I have the pedals and everything. Like I said, the pedals, when you have brake assist on, don't really do anything for you. The game is doing the braking for you. You can just keep that. You can keep that tacked to the floor the entire time. I think the game's also giving me quite a break here with the way the AI opponents are doing, because there's no way I should be in 16th place instead of 22nd in dead last. 15th. I'm still climbing. Yeah, they're giving me a lot of credit here. Oh my god, get out of my way. try to follow that apex of the turn, and then you don't have the feel for the turning, especially not with the wheel. You might get there if you're consistently using one type of controller, but I was doing the regular controller first when I was playing it on my own, and now I'm using the wheel. So I don't think I'm doing myself the service of actually being able to become better at this game.
Just ahead. Body kill is 3 seconds behind you.
I'm somehow in 13th. I'm about halfway, just under halfway through the pack somehow, which is kind of incredible. Really gives you an idea as to how much this game helps you out with the difficulty curve on the AI. And yeah, just for the record, you definitely want to put this on a table or something like that, not on your lap, because I'll say this as many times as I need to. This is not a good setup for the wheel. I'm definitely gonna do one more race, and I'm gonna unplug the wheel and just stick with the regular controller and show everybody that it's me. It's not the wheel, but it's not helping. I'm breaking into the front 10 now. That's ridiculous. Also, gotta point out, one of the biggest sponsors of this race, at least because it's Australia, is Qantas, and we all know about Qantas. Qantas, I think up until a few years ago at least, because it was a big news story because of the movie, but Qantas never crashed. Every airline has had at least one major crash. No, not Qantas. Qantas never crashed. So it's great. You have to. If you want to take a flight from Chicago to LA from Qantas, you need a layover in Melbourne, Australia. But that's fine because you'll be on the safest airline with your autistic brother, half brother or half brother. I don't know. But I think there's also Foster's. There's Foster's ads here too. It's pretty funny to see. Like I said, it was pretty painstakingly recreated here. I think, or rather, excuse me, those aren't Foster's ads. They are, I think it said Formula ads, and there are Coca-Cola ads too. So it's pretty impressive actually. Yeah, Qantas there. I think they probably were trying to avoid advertising beer in their Nintendo game, at least in the North American release of it. Nintendo of America probably made them change that, but it does have... Oh, and Tag Heuer too. Tag Heuer, the watch company. Yeah, they got all the ads on the cars and everything pretty much down. This makes absolute sense to me that this is a race taking place on Australia. Let's see if I can remove this and retrieve my controller without messing. You know what? I'm gonna make sure I'm done with this race first. Okay. Continue. And let's reset ourselves here. By the way, if you didn't notice, this does have on-cart saving, which is extremely impressive to me. Not what I expected at all. And let's take that out right there. So the beauty of... I say the beauty, it's kind of a blessing and a curse as far as the way the N64 handles controllers, if you've never noticed this. With the N64, you have to have your controller plugged into the system when it starts. If it doesn't detect a controller when you turn the system on, you have to turn the system off, then put the controllers in, then restart it. It won't detect controllers if you plug them in after you turn the system on. You can, however, do what I just did though, and as long as there was a controller in that port when the system was turned on, it thinks all the time that there's a controller in there. I don't know why it does that, but I like this too. I don't have to do all the intermeaning bullshit having to do with the races if I'm not super into the qualifying and everything like that. I can just skip ahead to the real race part. But it's got all that stuff in there. So, it's also got a bunch of other stuff in there that I think is really impressive if you're into it. All this stuff right here, this can all be customized. The tuning on your car can be 100% customized. I'm not gonna fuck with it because I don't know what I'm doing, but this is pretty cool. So this will be pretty much my first race. So I think if I don't do the qualifying things though, I do have to start at the back of the pack. But basically, if I don't have a terrible race, I feel like it's always possible for me to I need to learn how to start races. That's one thing I need. Oh shit. You know what I did? It still thinks I'm using the wheel. So, that snapping back and forth right there, god damn it. I am not going to be able to race like this. That's ridiculous. I have to change the setting on there. I wonder if I can actually... Shit. No, I feel like I might have to restart that file entirely. Yeah, let's just do this. Let's just start a new file. I'm just gonna stick with Driver William. I was reading up on this. Apparently, the guy that they originally had for that, the one license that they couldn't get was this dude, whatever his name Williams is. It might actually be Williams, but he is also on the Williams team. But apparently, they didn't get his license, so they left him in there so that people could change things. So that's pretty funny to me. So yeah. So of course now we're gonna just have to do that Australia race again. But definitely next time I'll save the rest of the races for next time, and we'll have one that's basically just all new stuff. So that'll be cool. And let's see if I figure out how to start. I basically should probably wait. I don't know how to start races. How are these guys all like taking off like that? See, much better, much more gradual. Say that. Not snapping back and forth.
Taking the lead.
I don't really care. I'm way the fuck back here, dude. Alright, so that's the one thing that I don't really understand. If I am braking, if they're helping me so much with the braking that I'm basically going out to like 22 miles an hour, why am I still having such trouble with those turns? That's the thing that's really holding me back here. Like,
5 seconds ahead.
oh, apparently I'm really getting my ass kicked, huh? Let's see, next time they give me a checkup, I'll see if I'm anywhere near close to the guy in front of me. Oh.
8 seconds ahead.
So I think that also helps me a lot too, doesn't it? Definitely helps if people drop out, you just jump ahead. There's the people. Alright, catching up here. Catching up. Go. Come on. I know I can catch these people. Oh shit. Just like slam the brakes on so that I rear end them. Go. Here we go. Now we're starting to catch up. Oh, I can do this. Pick up some real important seconds right now. But yeah, notice the Foster's logo cleverly changed to Formula for Formula One. Oh, Bridgestone too. The Bridgestone logos over here.
2 seconds ahead.
Feels very authentic, honestly. Usually ads in games aren't a huge plus anywhere, but in this game definitely feels legit because they're all either very there's a Shell logo over there. They're all very racing related brands, or they're very related to the place where you're racing. Like I said, Australia. The Qantas ads and the Formula ads definitely add the authentic touch to it, and I think that's one of the biggest reasons that people like this game so much and still like this game so much is because it's so authentic, and it's tough for someone who's not interested in it to really appreciate it. But I'm trying really hard, and I'm trying to notice little things like that you know help this game's reputation for being so authentic and so you know heavy simulation basically.
That's your best lap so far.
That's good to know. Gaining on these dudes. I think we'll make our way into the front 10 probably. Just like we did last time. Christ. Get down all the way down to like 30 miles an hour. Oh my lord. That's probably one of the things that I really can't stand about these games, though, is the fact that you do have to slow down so much with turns. I know that's normal, like, it's a racing thing, that's what you do. You can't just, like, go into turns at 150, 160 miles an hour. But, like, it really just kills me to have to drop down all the way to, like, 30 miles an hour and then feel like I really have no control over being able to accelerate again, about being able to get through the turn, about any of that stuff. But that's basically just the way that these cars drive. Or when assholes like that are just ramming me off the road, basically taking a freaking vendetta against me. It looked like. Because I really am trying to stay on this worn section of the track, because that's the path. That is the racing line. It really helped me with that, but God, I'm a mess. But honestly, you can tell pretty much just by watching this. This game is so much better than the pole position one, the one I did from last year, the Human Entertainment, I think, published, or at least developed it. I don't know who published it over here, because Human never publishes things over here. But I think it should be pretty easy to tell just from watching that this is miles ahead. It's miles ahead graphically. It's miles ahead in presentation. It's definitely easier to kind of grasp like how you're doing. And it's easier to feel like you can fix things the next time you come to a turn. But lo and behold, every single time I do it, I still look like a complete moron. It feels like I'm driving like a Vespa when I take the turn, or like a electric bumper car, just a go-kart, for God's sake. It's like ridiculous. You go from these straightaways where you feel like you're blazing down at 300 miles an hour. Like you're in a freaking dragster. I think that might be why people enjoy this so much. Is the ups and downs. Like it's a lot more. I'll say this: it's a lot more intricate than NASCAR is, from what I've seen. I'm gonna finish in 12th. God damn it! You know, you have turns. You have finesse, you have a lot of that stuff. So I that's why I think this is, if I was going to get into like driving, any driving sport at this point, it would be a lot more likely I'd get into F1 than NASCAR, because NASCAR is just this is a lot more interesting, I think. Yeah, that was another race. It didn't seem like I did much better. It didn't feel like I did that much better, but it's a lot different than using the wheel. So I'm just gonna erase that now. It's useless. I'm not bringing the wheel back out. Just say that. Yeah, current place 7. Not doing that bad, I guess. But yeah, that's it. That's it for today. We're only seeing Australia, but there's a good amount more tracks in this game. Just pop open this Nintendo Power and see, give myself an idea what else there is to show. But yeah, it's cool. I got it's in this same Nintendo Power I've been using. That also had YLA in there. Let's see if they have a. No, never mind. F1, awesome. Yeah, damn. So we've got Australia, Brazil, Argentina, Monaco, San Marino, Spain. Let's make sure it's on camera. San Marino, Spain, Canada, Britain, France, Germany. Wow, there's a lot of tracks in here. Hungary, Belgium, Italy, Austria, Luxembourg, it just says Europe. Tracks called Jerez, or Jerez. And finally, Japan. So there's a hell of a lot of tracks in this F1 Racing Federation. And they're all in the game, and that's pretty impressive. Like I said, very, very impressive to me that they definitely put a lot of work into this game. I definitely appreciate it, even if it's not my kind of game. So with that, I will say that that's it for me today, and hopefully I'll get better as I keep doing other races in there, and I'll jump back in for another set of races and do something different with some of those tracks that were in there. But until then, thank you for watching, and have a good night.